What's going on, everyone? This is Tony with Urban Girl Scout Media. I am living the dream as always. Today's going to be a fun one. Today I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about Magic singles, the secondary market, and I'm just going to spend a little bit of time on this Scoutcast. This isn't going to be a super long one, hopefully, where we'll discuss, just kind of the perception that Urban Girl Scout Media has of the secondary market. So first off, I think it's important that for people who don't necessarily know, Magic the Gathering is sold by WotC, or who's owned by Hasbro. They do not, for all intents and purposes, and really I think for every purpose, they don't acknowledge the secondary market, which is, that's fine. What is the secondary market? So you go to the store and you buy something from Walmart, Target, the smaller version of them, or Myers, or the IGAs, CVS, Walgreens of the world, things like that. There's a secondary market where that may be considered valuable, and you can sell it. Now, Walmart doesn't, those big companies don't necessarily address the secondary market. It's not like Walmart says, well, if you buy it off the secondary market, you can still bring it in, things like that. Or at least not to my knowledge. Again, these are things that it's just my basic knowledge starting out, and it could develop and change over the series of this topic. So, you can sell things, and think about it. You go to Walmart, you buy a t-shirt, you keep it for 5 years, 3 years, whatever. You don't want it anymore. You sell it on Garage Sale or Craigslist, or you go to the resale shop and sell it to them. It's the secondary market. Magic has the equivalent. There's a lot of card stores that they they sell singles. They rely on those to bring customers in. Whether it's a big part of their profit or not is, I think it changes from store to store. So, with that in mind, they don't address secondary market. They don't really print product, I think, to address it too much. Now, obviously, time out, Tony. Modern Masters, and I get it. That was a good little. It was a good little move, but that wasn't the save the format move as much as make more money off of an expensive format move. That's what that was. They're not doing it anymore. I'll discuss that later. I want to talk about where we are today buying cards. The market is incredibly volatile right now. Using programs or apps or websites like MTG Echo, I think MTG Finance is one, and then you can look at TCG Player, Star City, all the big boys, all that crap. eBay. All of these card prices, it's a volatile time. There are cards that are spiking, whether it be for buyout or for use in a deck, but it's a very volatile time. And I love and hate this at the same time. And here's why. And I think a lot of people need to look at it this way. One of the things that keeps Magic going is the new players that we bring into the game. If it's too expensive for new players to get into Modern or Legacy, which I think that Legacy is priced out a majority of its new entry players, you're going to have to be into Magic for years, and then, well, maybe not years, but you're going to have a deep commitment to Magic, and then on top of that, possibly deep pockets, unless you can borrow decks or, proxy. But Modern's becoming the same way. It's getting priced. It's getting out of control. Bobs are between 90 and 100 or 80, something like that. I mean, they're too fucking expensive. I'm gonna steal Magic Tabletop Girls quote, and she constantly says this with Richard Garfield, saying, these cards shouldn't cost more than $20 a piece. That's absurd. And I have a few ideas on how they could help that. I doubt any of them would work realistically because I don't think I have all the answers on this, but it's a very volatile time. You're seeing a lot of cards have sudden spikes. The reserve list cards are absurd right now. Non-reserve list cards, stuff that came out of the new set, is seeing weird pricing. That Angel that just came out, the Lyria or whatever her name is. I pulled one of her, and she, right before its video, I looked, and she was at $40, roughly. I mean, that's absurd, you know? So, and it's a week into this thing that we call Dominaria. So I don't know. It's maybe I'm the only one that looks at this and says us pricing out newer or younger or players who don't have those cards in the first place. It could be older players who just never really got into it until now. Well, pricing them out doesn't seem smart because the lifeblood of Magic is bringing in new players, creating that fan experience, that fun experience. I honestly think that this pricing issue on the secondary market really, really affects the local game stores the most. That is where I think the most concern has to be placed. Is that the local game stores who make money off these cards, they're going to see a volatile market both going up and down, and it's going to make it tough to sell cards with confidence, and it's going to make it tough for them to buy cards with confidence because you don't know. You just don't know. So that's my opinion, guys. Tell me what you think. And of course, this is Tony with Urban Girl Scout Media, living the dream as always.